Hi, welcome to MyWealth.com. I'm Mike Conlon. I'm one of the senior instructors with the courses. Welcome to today's blog. Today's blog is entitled Penny Stocks, so you still want to play. Basically, this is a continuation of the two-part series we're doing on penny stocks, what we call our Ultimate Insider's Guide. So if you haven't had a chance to check out yesterday's blog, be sure to do so. It'll tell you more about how the market works. Today we're going to focus more on some of the nefarious sides of penny stock market and why the market gets a bad name. So, despite many warnings, people still continue to invest in penny stocks, and the appetite for these stocks is very great. Okay, people think to themselves, if they can just get a piece of those triple-digit gains they see, then everything will be okay and they'll make some money. The sad part is that most of the time they end up becoming a victim of a pump and dump scam. So let's take a look at how the pump and dump works and what really happens. Okay, a lot of times what will happen is that a stock promoter or actually a company themselves will approach each other and agree to compensate the promoter for getting people to buy their stock. Okay, now how this works is that the promoter can receive either a cash payment or actual stock in the company. The promoter then goes on to tout the stock via their website or their newsletter or making cold calls. Okay, and they try and get some appetite going, and they try and get a little frenzy going about the stock. Once the buyers come in and the buying starts, the actual promoter and the insiders, they then sell their stock. Okay, so the feeding frenzy, that's the pump portion. The actual selling is the dump portion. So what happens? If you're an investor who saw the gains going on, or you got the word that you should be investing, and you start to buy, you've bought the top of the stock. Okay, then what happens is that the buying dries up, and then there's no one left to sell to. Okay, what you see is the wide spreads that occur in the market, and it's tough to get out of it. A lot of times what will happen is that you'll end up having to sell the stock at a considerable discount to where you purchased it, thereby realizing huge losses. A lot of times what happens is the people who actually end up buying your stock back at those lower prices are the original people who sent it to you, the pumpers. So just be careful of that when you're following stock tips. Okay, another scam that's come about recently is the wrong message scam. A lot of times what promoters will do is if they get your contact info, they'll give you a call and leave a message on your voicemail. But they'll leave the wrong message, so they'll leave it for somebody else. So if your name's Bob, they'll say, hey, John, I've just given you that tip about that stock that I was in, and it's great. So now what that does is it makes the investor think they're getting some sort of inside information, and they've got this great stock on their hands. Go ahead and buy it. They'll think of just about anything to get you to buy. So why do people continue to fall for it? Well, what happens from time to time is that once people get involved in these scams, they're actually allowed to win initially. Okay, what that does is that makes you gain or give your trust to the promoter. Okay. And then you start to follow them, take their advice, and you start to win on a couple. You make some money, and then bam, it usually ends badly as you're at the other end of the pump and dump scam. So are all penny stocks bad? Should you never invest in this market? Not necessarily. Let's take a look at some of the do's and don'ts if you're going to get involved with penny stocks.
As always, be sure to check out the written blog at www.mywealth.com/blog. Alright, so if you end up deciding that you do want to invest in penny stocks, here's how you should protect yourself. Okay, never ever take a tip from a website or a newsletter that specifically recommends a penny stock. Okay, if this were such a great investment, why would they share it with you? If you ever notice, they don't ask you for anything for it. Their advice is always free. As my grandfather used to say, free advice is worth absolutely what you pay for it, so just be careful about that. Okay, secondly, do not give your contact info to sites that tout penny stocks. Why? Because these sites use your info to increase their subscriber base, which makes them more attractive to micro-cap companies who want them to tout their stock. So in effect, you're actually helping these scammers. Okay, also be wary of sites that claim to tell you which stocks are being touted. Why? Because guess who's behind those sites? That's right, the same scammers. So, I came across one of these sites the other day, and with a little research was able to see that it was the same guys touting the stock. So just be careful about that. Okay, always read the fine print. Okay, buried somewhere on their website, it will explain to you how they're being compensated. Okay, as long as they report this information, technically they are not breaking the law. However, some sites will routinely not do this, and they hope to elude prosecution. Okay, unfortunately, you can't expect the SEC to investigate all these small potatoes websites when they couldn't even catch, an arch criminal like Madoff. So, be on the lookout for that. Be wary of tips given to you by friends and people that you trust. Okay, more often than not, if they're giving you a tip about a penny stock, they may be an unknowing participant in one of these pump and dump scams, and they're merely trying to be helpful. Okay, I've seen more than one friendship go belly up after stock recommendations gone badly. Okay, and lastly, never ever take a recommendation from a cold calling broker. If you get a call from one of these guys, hang up the telephone. I'm sure some of you have seen the movie Boiler Room, and I don't need to comment any further on this. But basically, if you're not going to take tips from friends and from people you trust, why should you take it from a cold calling broker who doesn't know you? Alright, so instead, here's what you should do. Okay, do your own homework and become your own analyst. Okay, take a look at the company and do a little research about what you're looking to buy. Does the company have a website or a phone number? If so, go ahead and send them an email, or maybe even give them a phone call. I've talked to more than one owner of a penny stock company who's more than happy to give me the information. Okay, that's how you're able to differentiate the good stocks from the bad stocks and those that are being touted. Okay, use common sense and conduct your own due diligence. Okay, ask yourself a couple questions when you're looking to buy a penny stock. First question you should ask yourself is, does the company have tangible assets? Okay, do they have a product that you use? Okay, have they ever been mentioned in the mainstream media? Now, mainstream media is not tout sites on the internet. Okay, so after you've asked yourself these questions, then you can go ahead and dive in further and do your normal due diligence and whatever you would do to check out whether a stock was a good investment or not. Okay, use the Edgar database. Okay, the Edgar database is actually a database that shows whether a company has filed financials with the appropriate regulatory authority. Okay, now remember, not all penny stocks and microcap companies are required to file their financials. Okay, but those that do are typically more transparent. Okay, and therefore more trustworthy. Okay, proceed with caution. Okay, only invest an amount of money that you would be comfortable with if you lost the entire investment. Okay, never let somebody else tell you how much to invest. Okay, you make that decision. Okay, and lastly, get lucky and have fun with it. Okay, you never know when you're going to be able to uncover the next Microsoft or Google. Okay, who knows what you just might find. So don't wait. Get into a course. Get educated, learn about the different stocks you can buy and how you can play different markets. Go to www.mywealth.com.
So as we can see, knowing what you're getting yourself into could be the difference between losing money because you made a bad choice on a stock pick or through no fault of your own. Learning about these markets can really help you stack the odds in your favor. And that's what we do here at mywealth.com. We try and educate people with our unbiased opinions to help you succeed in your investing. So go to www.mywealth.com, check out our investing course. It's only $25 and you'll have access to some experienced instructors such as myself. And I can assure you that this will be an investment that you won't regret. And of course, if you do happen to end up picking that penny stock that does become the next Google, well then stop buying lotto tickets because your luck has run out. I'm Mike Conlon. Thanks for being with me, and I hope to see you in the courses.